at him going. Good morning, everybody. It is a cool and crisp day in October. The high today is in the mid-70s, so it's going to be warm, but not hot. And you know what that means. We're going to go look for hognose snakes. So let's go drive around and see what we can find. Well, that's a strange first snake of the day. We have a big, dark rat snake. Actually cruised a big, dark rat snake on this same stretch in the spring. I wonder if that could be the same snake, because a lot of the rat snakes here are very gray. This one's almost solid black. I thought it could have been a pine snake for a second. Oh yeah, and Mike's here with us today.
Hey.
Passing through. We can't get rid of this guy. Alright, we'll get this guy out of the road. Hopefully there are some more typical upland snakes coming our way, because this is not really a place you would expect to see a lot of rat snakes, and really I don't. This is probably only the third or fourth maybe that I've seen in this immediate area, so really neat. Alright, there's a truck coming, so we're gonna just put this guy over here, away from this house, hopefully. Go on. No, don't come back this way. Go that way. Get out of here. He wants to fight now. Come on, dude. Alright, we're gonna put him over here so that this guy does not mess with him. Go on. Well, it feels good out here, and you know, we saw one snake, but that has been the only thing that's been moving, that rat snake, until we found this mantis. So, getting a little bored of road cruising, so we stopped to take a gander at this guy, or girl, and we'll get back to it. Always nice to see. There it is. Only took all day. But you can see his track is pretty well defined. Like, they're leaving tracks today, we're just not seeing them. Well, that's what it's about right there. Hogtober, and a long-awaited lifer for Mike here. Yeah. Who, this guy and a mole king were the two things that Mike really wanted to see today, and I'm glad we were able to get one. It was starting to look a little bleak. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, and that's our second snake after the rat snake. So look at him going. That is a fine specimen of the southern hognose snake from Mike's lifer. And I'm just glad we got one, because normally it doesn't take until 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the fall to find one of these guys. So he's already off the road, so we're just going to get a couple quick photos as he moves into the forest. Alright, let's see what else we can get into. One hognose and one rat snake today. And that's been all the sand has had to offer.
Things are just moving late today.
Yep, many hours later, here we have our second Simus of the day. This one is big. Look at that. Looks like a big girl. All right, well, we just spared this guy from the UPS man who was barreling this direction. But we just saw a coach whip too, so coach whip and our second Simus in the last 30 minutes or so. All right, guys, well, the day is kind of winding down, and unfortunately, I can inform you guys that our last two snakes of the day were both DOR pine snakes, 2 of them back to back, about 10 minutes of driving apart from each other. One of which was definitely from today, the other one might have been from yesterday, but just crazy bad luck seeing those 2 snakes back to back. But we're gonna flip a little bit of 10 to end the day here, and hopefully we'll at least see something, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. We're camping down here tonight, so. All right, I'm back here without a snake hook or a GoPro. So Mike and I are both just, you know, hoping to see a rattlesnake, but hoping that it's in a nice spot where we don't have to mess with it whilst we are flipping this tin today. It's tough getting these briars off without a hook.
I'll hold that.
Yep. Nobody. But you can see that's where the diamondback would be if he was under there. Sounded like a horse. I think this is 2 pieces. I can't remember. Yes, it is. Oh, it looks very rattlesnakey. The plants suck. The absence of snakes also sucks. Recording with my phone while I flip also sucks.
This is more to my liking.
It's a little less of a pain to get to. Do these two up, I think.
Oh, skink.
Oh, racer! We're on the board. Looks like an indigo. All right, well, we got one snake flipping this afternoon. We'll leave him right there. Nice looking racer. Fire ants. This piece of tin looks so good in the spring. I hope you guys are enjoying the Mike Pingleton getting stabbed by briar sound effects in this episode. All right. Another one. And fire ants. This place is just so friendly towards people.
Woo.
Ants and briars.
I grabbed the briar.
All right, this weird little thing right here had a corn under it in the spring. Now it's got all the fire ants. Recording everything I'm flipping, we have a beautiful gray rat under this huge piece. We'll pull him out real quick. Well, we got a decent snake under 10 in the form of this rat snake that is way bigger than I thought it was going to be when I saw it under the 10. I mean, that guy's probably over 5 feet, and Mike's not a small guy, so I mean, you can see that's a girthy snake. How tall are you, Mike? 6'2"? 6 flat?
Yeah.
That's conservative.
I used to be 6'1", but I got old. You shrink. You didn't know that, did you?
You shrink from looking 6'2" and being 6
What I
flat.
shrink from is walking through all these briars.
Yeah, it drains you one drop of blood at a time. Well, there we go. Beautiful rat snake. All right, we are grabbing some photos of this beauty out in the open real quick, and then we'll put him back under his tin, but very possibly the last snake of the day. A nice, big, healthy gray rat under 10. Second one of the day. The first one was black, though. All right, this guy's going back to his tin, and we're probably going to go get something to eat because we've been at it all day with no substance. Substance? Sustenance. I mixed up the words substance and sustenance because I'm smart. I'm a smart guy out here doing smart guy things. All right, there he goes. Right back around the back side of the piece of tin we found him under. All right, this is probably going to be our last 10 for the day. So let's see if there's anybody under here. There is not. There's a canebrake basking right here. Look at this. So I was trying to work my way along the length of this building, flipping these pieces. And obviously I got to this one and was stopped in my tracks because there is a huge rattlesnake right there. Well, that is exactly what you want to see, though. Definitely a great highlight to the day if we don't see anything else. I really thought we were done with that gray rat, and then I started poking around a little bit more, and I'm very glad I did because that is a beautiful snake. So, so cool, and as you guys know, one of my favorite species. Always very happy to see them. Especially happy to be able to see one here today with Mike. Well, if we're going to find 2 dead pine snakes today, we might as well at least find a live rattlesnake to kind of make up for it, so we're going to leave that beauty right there, poke around this building a little bit more, make sure we're not missing anything, and then probably actually go get food. We'll see. There's a really big angry dog between us and the car, and we have to cross this big open field to get there. The car is like right over there. And this is not staged. This is a real thing that's... This is a real life scenario we're in right now.
I'll just throw my stick and let him fetch it.
Yeah, that'll show him. Let's play with him. Are we pals? Have we reached an agreement? You're not going to come and get us? You're going to let us go to the car?
Looking good.
This is a beautiful afternoon. Got the sun over there. The moon right there. All right, guys, well, our morning hike this morning has not been productive. We flipped a lot of 10, didn't see anything. And it's getting to be that time where we need to hit the road and cruise. So we don't have any clouds today. It's going to heat up pretty quickly. And hopefully we'll see some snakes. So we're walking back to the car talking about how we should be able to find a snake on this road. And it's not a snake, but yesterday at some point, a snake did cross right here. And it looks like a little hognose track. All right, well, we're back at it this morning, and it's been many hours. It's no longer the morning. And there's our first snake, little coach whip. All right, guys, well, I don't think today is going to be nearly as good as yesterday based on the fact that it's now 2 p.m. and we've seen what I think was a fresh pine snake track, another coach whip track, and then this little coach whip that we just got hands on. This guy is from this year. You can see he's grown quite a bit. He's already got a little bit of size to him and is starting to kind of transition into that different, darker adult coloration, it seems. But very handsome little snake, albeit very common here in this area. So we'll just let this little guy go and hope that the day improves from here, but I'm not super confident. It's very sunny, not a cloud in the sky, and it's starting to get pretty hot for October. So we'll let this guy zoom off. All right, let's see what kind of level of zoom we're gonna get from this little guy. Did he just stop in the grass? Oh yeah, he's right there. He's so well camouflaged. Look at that. You can barely even see the guy.
Yep.
Let's see if he'll...
There you go.
There we go. Stops again. All right, well, here at the end of the day, we have our Simus. Took all day, but there you go. Look at this little thing just going into the sand right here. We were trying to get a couple photos and it just started digging a hole. I have not seen that before in Simus. Very cool. But we saw plenty of these yesterday. We've seen plenty of them this year, and all around, just not exactly what we were hoping to see today, but always a nice addition. So we'll leave her to her digging business and get back to cruising. Mike found himself a flipping pole.
Yeah, so when you lift those boards up, but you're really kind of scared of rattlesnakes.
You use this absurd 18-foot long piece of various scrap metal that's been kind of welded together on like a gardening hoe.
Yeah.
All right, guys, well, we are wrapping up for the day. It's about to get dark. We flipped a little bit of 10, but without much success. And Mike's got to drive back to the Great Wide North, so we're gonna let him get back to his homeland, and we're probably gonna call it a day. It was a pleasure having you, Mike.
It was fun. I had a blast.
Glad we could get some snakes.
Yeah.
Wasn't the most productive, but it was still pretty dang good.
It was
so
good. Some good snakes today and yesterday.
Drive safe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. It is the end of October here in North Georgia, and things are starting to get very, very almost winter-like already here. It's been very cold overnight, and the daytime highs are only in the low 70s, even highs in the 60s and 50s already, and it's not even Halloween. So we're getting a little bit of a late start today, but the plan is to explore some new areas, and if that fails, check up on some tent sites. So let's get to it. Oh! What? I'm so confused as to why there's a timber rattlesnake under this board. Not just a timber rattlesnake, but an adult timber that looks like a gravid female. And a baby, a fresh baby. Look at that. I can't believe that. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say this snake is still gravid and actively giving birth under here based on the way it looks. And the fact that there's a fresh baby right here. Like, what? I'm so confused. That is so sick. I really don't know whether or not to assume that this is this snake's mom, or if it's just a coincidence that they're both under here, or if this snake is actually still gravid, or what. There's the big snake, and then there's exactly one baby. Either way, I don't want to disturb these guys too much. Super nice to see them using this board, so I'm just going to lower it down. A late but fantastic start to the day with 2 timber rattlesnakes here in North Georgia. So sick. A racer. Nice. First snake I found under this piece. That's a good looking little racer. Very freshly shed, actually. That might be his shed right there. Nice. It's also opening weekend of gun season, so we got the vest on just in case. Shouldn't run into anybody out here, but you never know. If you're walking around somewhere where there's a chance that you could run into hunters in the woods this time of year, I highly recommend the Hunter Orange. It's also really weird to get a timber under that particular piece of cover, because like pretty much all the cover out at this spot is set up specifically for timbers, with the exception of that board. So it's really funny that the first timbers I actually successfully flipped here are under that board that was more so set out for colubrids. But I mean, it makes sense, plenty of space under it, and it's getting good sun today. All right, well, I've largely exhausted my flips, but that's how late season flipping can be. Only certain pieces of cover are even really suitable to have snakes under them this late in the year. So anything that stays mostly cool and shaded is not really surprising that it's not going to have anything under it. So we do have one more thing we're going to stop and check on the way home, but that'll probably be it for today if we don't see anything else. A pickerel frog. I'm kind of following this creek back towards the car and just flipped that guy. I was hoping for a spring salamander, but I've never seen an adult here, so I'm not going to get my hopes up, but sure would be neat. Oh yeah, next truck over had a little Serigera under it, so a little southern two-line and a pickerel. This is pretty cool. Big rock outcrop. There's what looks like a grill right there, and at one point someone made camp here. But look at that outcrop. Huge rock. There's a little red-bellied snake. It's a nice addition to the day. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see any other fossorial snakes, but I'll take it. And it's my favorite phase, the black with the orange stripe. Great looking snakes, as always. At the end of the day, I checked back up on the timber rattlesnakes one more time. They had moved around a little bit, but I just wanted to see if there maybe were any other babies that had moved under there that I didn't see earlier. And it was just the one adult timber and the baby again, but I did get this interesting interaction on camera where the baby crawled over to the larger timber. Almost looked like it was looking for safety and protection from me as I was standing there kind of looming. So I took a few more photos and then left these snakes to their business, and I actually did check up on them a couple more times over the next few weeks, but I never saw them again. So I'm assuming that there's just an underground access right there nearby that board somewhere, and that's why they were both coincidentally hanging out under that piece so late in the season. I didn't see any other snakes that day, but it was a great late season outing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to wrap this episode up here, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you.